oops, okay, I had a great viewer email me and ask me about this, and I try and follow up on so many email requests. I'm only one person, me and Jesus. I don't have like researchers and assistants and all that. I prefer it that way because I like to do my own research. I like to try and get things as correct as possible because, you know, the buck ends with us as YouTube creators. But I wanted to publish all these interviews. Madeline Soto's best friend. I'm not going to name her. I don't want to name the children. And I haven't gone over this audio. I've had this audio for a while. For a lot of reasons, I held back on publishing it because, first of all, it's so redacted. Every time they mention Maddie's name, there's a redaction. And even Jennifer's name at some point. So it is a difficult listen, but since this person really wanted me to publish these, and, you know, I like to try and give the viewers what they want, and I'm glad I published it. So you will hear about 5 different interviews. You will hear Maddie's friends, and the 5th one is Yolanda, Maddie's grandma. You may have heard some of these before, but giving them another listen is really important. So that's coming up. Also, the way I probably will edit this video in a second is I'll probably put myself in a little picture-in-picture because another question came up today about seeing the supposed church video, you know, supposedly that Peace Church video. Maddie was allegedly seen on camera. That's what Stephan Sterns and Jennifer Soto kept going on and on about. And, you know, supposedly, yeah, Maddie was seen the day she went missing, Monday, February 26th. Someone saw her sitting at Peace Church. She sat in the parking lot for a while. Then she walked away, or she got in a car, or blah, 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 blah. She was wearing a green hoodie. So many viewers have questions about that video. Well, I think we haven't really seen it. Maybe we kinda partially have seen it. So that's why I'm publishing this little short 5-minute video of this one officer who went inside of Peace Church, and he was actually watching the video. I can barely see his body cam. There it is. This was February. It wasn't the 27th, even though his body cam is going to say February 27th, that Tuesday. The time is T 3:30. So I think we do T minus 6. Oh, should I do this on the top of my head? T minus 6 or T minus 5, one of those. So technically it was really late. It was actually really late on the evening of Monday, February 26th, when he's filming this video. He goes into Peace Church. He's following up on this tip. However, they black out the entire surveillance video he's watching. However, I was noticing yesterday on the left-hand side to the left of the phone, there's a little monitor there, and that monitor might be reflecting what he's watching on the bigger screen, potentially. So what he's watching on the big screen is already like blurred to hell anyway, really grainy, supposedly. So I was trying to check out what was going on the left side of the screen, if I could see what they were potentially watching, if it's even reflecting that screen at all. It's very hard. I can't see what's there. It could potentially be there. So maybe that's why some people believe they've seen the so-called grainy Peace Church video footage. I don't remember seeing it anywhere else. I don't remember seeing it on any news program or anything. But before I play all of these interviews for you, I want to describe what you're going to listen to really quickly. Interview number 1 is the most compelling. It's Maddie's best friend. Again, I won't say her name. Their names are listed in the police reports if you've gone all through the PDFs and everything. Interview number 1. Keep in mind, this officer detective Jeffrey Payne is speaking to a lot of these children. He speaks to the best friend separately. She did not go to school that day, obviously, and her dad is wonderfully protective. He goes to her house, wherever that is. The dad at first talks to Detective Payne about, I hear rumors in this group chat that Stephan Sterns was picked up in Fort Myers, that he was fleeing or something. He was getting rumors that maybe Stephan had escaped. I don't know. They knew Stephan was arrested Wednesday the 28th. Now it's the 29th and rumors are flying. But Detective Jeff is like, I can't confirm or deny anything. And the dad then calls his daughter and is like, are you even home? Can you come down? The detective is like, I usually talk to people in my car. Now I get it. I understand audio, everything. I've got like blankets behind here and all this stuff to try and improve the audio. Audio is everything. So I'm sure the detective is thinking, I have to be somewhere alone with Maddie's best friend for the best acoustics so people can hear her interview. But the dad is like not having any of that. I don't blame him. I get it. The dad goes, I'm not letting her get in the car by herself. They can't interview right there in the home, with the dad lurking. They have to interview a person alone so the person will feel free to say whatever, she wanted to say about Maddie. They spoke outside instead because the best friend, wasn't going to get in the car with the detective. He's like, we're not going anywhere. So it was about 4:15 p.m. that day, February 29th. This best friend, she sounds so sweet. She's known Maddie since 4th grade. She talked about Valentine's Day was the last time Maddie took her meds. Why did she stop? I'm guessing because she felt more free. She talked about Maddie's YouTube shorts and Maddie's boyfriends. I'll let you hear it all, see what you can pick up. Some stuff she was just surmising herself. Like the detective is like, did Maddie tell you that's why she stopped taking her meds, because she felt more free? And the girl admits no. That was just her thought process. And Stephan does sound creepier the more I listen to this girl's interview. The girl says, I met Stephan once. I shook his hand, right hand. I shook his hand and he hugged me. It's like, ugh, how creepy could you be? It's a little girl meeting her best friend's mother's boyfriend, and Stephan's all like, oh, let me hug you, little girl. Anyway, the cop, you can tell he's looking at Maddie's YouTube. The best friend is saying Maddie was going to show her face at 200 subs once she got 200 subs. They talk about Discord and everything. The detectives must see a text message or something, because he's like, did Maddie ever hang out with Stephan instead of her best friend? Because he saw some kind of message with Maddie saying, oh, I can't get on right now, whatever, the game or Discord or whatever, because Stephan was there. And so the detective is like, wait, did she ever basically blow you off to be with Stephan? This is what made me sad. The best friend said he visited Maddie basically after he moved out. He spent a day with her once. We were supposed to hang out that day, but she canceled because he came. What's telling to me is the best friend is not going to say, and I'm just going to play it all after this because I don't want to do a lot of editing. I got a lot of other body cams on the way. I just got the Kim and Croy body cam. I got other body cams I need to get through, download. Already downloaded, I need to publish and edit and make commentary on, get up on Patreon and everything. What's creepy about this is it's not like the best friend said, yeah, Maddie blew me off because Jennifer and Stephan wanted to take her to the zoo or they were all going to hang out together. No, this was specifically Stephan visiting Maddie after he had even moved out. He spent a day with her once. We were supposed to hang out that day, but she canceled because he came. It's so sad to me. And even the girl is going to mention how creepily close, they seem to be. I just feel so much worse for Maddie. The way the cop was at the end, he's telling this little girl, Maddie's best friend, I'm sorry. Like, no one your age should have to deal with this. And Maddie dealt with this. And she was basically, keeping it a secret. But that's so sad. I wonder if it was that day that the cops were asking Jennifer, you were wanting Stephan to come up and you wanted him to babysit Maddie because you had to go out to lunch, Jennifer, with a friend. And Jennifer again was acting like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. I wonder if that was that same day. Like, I wish they could have pulled on that thread more. And I'm sure they will, like during the trial and as things progress. This best friend was astute. She said, I think she was scared of, basically, it's redacted, but she wanted to get away from that. Maybe like he threatened her. If she told anybody, if she told me, told my parents or something, it's really hard to hear. It's really soft-spoken. Of course, Detective Jeff, you hear his voice better. Usually, I don't know where the audio device is, but you hear the cop better. But he moves right into asking, was Maddie a virgin? And the friend said, yes. And they talk about that. Oh, when she's 13, she's going to go live in the woods. The friend was giving it context. She wasn't just going to run away to the woods. She was just saying that in case World War III broke out. But the friend did say, she sent me something weird. It was something dirty. It was like a picture she drew on paper. It was weird. And it must be those drawings that we saw as part of Discovery. Well, I didn't publish them here, but it's these drawings of a horrible, nature, the stuff Stephan did to her. And that must have been what they're talking about, because the little girl says, yeah, she did give the photos to Detective Brittany, so she gave them to someone else. They get into the talk of Maddie's period being late. The girl says last month it was late, when usually it's only 2 days right after hers. But she does say 2 weeks later she got it. And so the detective is asking, was Maddie concerned about being pregnant? And the girl says no, but she sounds kind of unsure at some points. There's something happening. There's something going on. I know the little girl is upset, and Detective Jeff is sniffing a lot. There's a lot going on in this audio. But the girl says Jennifer was weird and calm. Jennifer told this best friend's dad that she was the one who dropped Maddie off. She didn't mention anything about Stephan. And once Stephan was arrested and his charges came out, this little best friend was shocked. She said, I did get weird signs from him, but not that he would touch her. And the detective is like, what kind of weird signs? And she's like, they were weirdly close, like on FaceTime. The girl is saying, like, I'm close with my dad. I love my dad, but it's like, I'm not like FaceTiming him all day. And, like Stephan, the way he was forcing Maddie to be with him. The detective closes it out saying, I find it hard to believe she didn't confide. The detective, it's something about his sense. He gets a sense that this girl might be holding back from him, I think. Find it hard to believe she didn't confide in anyone, not even her best friend. And the girl says, I think Stephan threatened her. I don't think the detective believes her. He's not being mean to this little girl or anything. He's just trying to dig at the truth. And I don't know if rumors are true. You see stuff on Twitter or whatever, but I saw this one person claiming to know the situation, claiming to be from the area, claiming that Maddie did make outcries, and it kind of fell on deaf ears. So I don't know if we'll learn truly more, of course, during the trial. Now, interview number 2 is very, very brief. It's only like 1 minute long. It says, I prefer to talk to her one-on-one. You can tell he's at the school. He's trying to knock out these interviews with all the kids. There's lots of noise. The audio ends. And then interview number 3 seems to start mid-interview. So I'm not sure if this is just a pickup from the other one, but the little girl is talking about something being suspicious. Didn't seem like she was crying. Maybe she's talking about Jennifer, I don't know. But she met Maddie in 6th grade, and this interview is only about 3 minutes long. She remembers Maddie crying. The detective is just giving a summary of what they've already spoken about. I don't know if his audio device failed or what. The girl says she feels like Maddie didn't run away by herself, but was with someone. She's so short she couldn't climb the fence, the girl is trying to say. Sometimes Maddie was mean to her. Why? She says that's how she showed her love and affection. They talked about crushes, not sex. We were kind of like suspicious, the girl says. When we found out about what happened on the news, she's saying we kind of like knew. So it was only after Stephan got arrested and then everybody started maybe putting the puzzle pieces together to see why things were so weird. Now, interview number 4, Detective Jeff Payne speaks with another friend, a 12-year-old girl. She just talks about recently getting closer with Maddie, saying Maddie could be sad, could be happy. I think at home wasn't the best she heard. A lot of it was hearsay she would hear, but she did hear about Jennifer telling Maddie, when you're 18, I'm going to give you to your dad. So that was brief and sad. And then interview number 5, like the viewer wanted to see, or hear rather. I was surprised this interview wasn't longer. But then again, it took place on Tuesdays. It was only one day after Maddie went missing. Maybe they didn't, of course, know the depth of what they had on hand. It's only about 8 minutes long. It's with Maddie's grandma, Yolanda Zambrano. And so the viewer wanted to hear this one again. It's really brief. Maybe that's why people think, where's the big interview with Yolanda? Expecting it to be a half an hour or something. But, we didn't miss this. It was just so brief. And there's others I haven't gone over. Maybe I'll go publish those later. I haven't gone over like Jennifer's ex-husband and certain ones. So I might end up doing more of this. Yolanda's talking about the last time she saw Maddie was that Sunday at her birthday party. They were obviously speaking in her office. She kind of says the same thing Jennifer says in terms of she never made it to school. Yolanda knows that Stephan did take Maddie to school, and Yolanda, again, like she told the news, she's like, I guess he came to visit, like I don't really know why he's here. I'm sure the detective picked up on her disdain for Stephan. Yolanda said, I know he moved out in December to Punta Gorda. I had to look that up. I guess that's about a 30-minute drive away from Northport, so I'm not sure why Yolanda said that, if she knew, if she was told Stephan moved somewhere else. I think there was a lot of secrets in this family, so she might not have known where he really went. But Yolanda reiterates what she's been told about Stephan dropping off Maddie near the school. She spoke of Maddie calling her crying one time, though, saying she didn't want to be in her house. This was about a year prior. Yolanda said Maddie was just walking around, didn't tell her, I guess, why she was upset, but she didn't want to be in her house. But Yolanda told her to go back home and don't walk alone in the street. This was like a year ago, so I'm sure that was Yolanda's first instinct. Go home, Maddie, go home. Don't walk around. I don't know if it was dark outside or what, but I just wish she could have just taken her in if she only knew. If she only knew what was really happening. Well, Yolanda did get honest on this first interview. She said she never liked Stephan. She's like, don't ask me why. I don't even know why, but it was her gut telling her, oh, he's a jerk. She was saying Stephan doesn't work. He suffers from a lot of things, but he doesn't help Jennifer. And she gets into something where it's so redacted, but the gist of it sounds like Jennifer just wanted a man around. That's what it sounds like. It's hard when it's so cut up. I'll be glad when we hear these without all the redactions, whenever, maybe in court, I don't know. But at first she said Maddie cried on Sunday. I thought she said Maddie cried on Sunday. I might have misheard that, but I've listened to it quite a bit. She said Maddie didn't want to go. And she said my ex-husband went to pick her up. And they spent the day together Saturday. So I don't know if she initially meant Saturday or if I misheard her, but something was going on Saturday so much. You know, Stephan's down there looking for anti-anxiety meds from his parents and everything on Saturday. And Maddie's so upset, she didn't even want to go home. You know, her grandmother's ex-husband went to pick her up. They spent the day together Saturday. This interview ends because, you know, he's like, do you have anything else you want to tell me? And Yolanda's like, here, my brother found a wallet. And so the audio ends right there at 13:19, which I guess is 1:19 p.m. It could have gone on more in depth. I know her last interview, I believe, was either that Wednesday with the news. We've gone over her Spanish language interviews and her English language interviews. I think she did it. Yeah, she did them in English too. And I think Wednesday is when Yolanda may have stopped speaking publicly. I don't know if she has more interviews with police that we just don't have yet. I hope there are a lot more in-depth interviews than this 8-minute interview with Yolanda, because I'm sure she could offer a lot of insight about what was going on. Not saying she knew what the heck Stephan was doing to Maddie, but just maybe about the dynamics of that relationship. Anyway, I'm about to let you listen to all 5 coming up, and maybe I'll do this again with the others because the viewer wanted to know if there's any other interviews with like Jennifer's friends. And off the top of my head, I don't think there are. I mean, I know we have interviews with the witnesses who believe they saw Stephan on the side of the road that day. We've gone over most all of the Chris Sterns and Deborah Sterns interviews. We still have to do the ex-husband's interview. So I'll just kind of go through and see what I have that could be interesting and compelling to viewers like you who are looking for this. So I'm playing it straight through, but first I will close with 1 Timothy 6:7, for we have brought nothing into the world, so it is clear that we cannot take anything out of it either. So listen up. I'm leaving in a lot of the pauses and the redactions. Some I've tightened up a little bit, but so it won't be too long. And I just have Jennifer as the visuals. But like when the little girl is on her phone searching for, I guess, Maddie's YouTube account or something weird, I left that long dead air in there just so you guys can hear the whole flow of the interview. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. Obviously, we've got a lot of body cam coming on the way, so take care.
This is my daughter. Yeah, no worries.
Hi. Hi, I'm Detective Payne with the Sheriff's Office.
Let me call.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to speak to her again. Should be quick.
No worries. I think she's home. I'd like to pick up my daughter's car. Let's see. So you got all kind of crazy rumors, but...
Yeah.
Hey, can you come downstairs? Are you home?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were home. Okay, come downstairs for me. No, there was like a group chat that came, I think a message like half hour ago that said that the picked up in Fort Myers. That he fled.
The investigation's still ongoing.
Yeah.
So obviously, a certain amount of stuff is released in the media. So obviously, unfortunately, she is the best friend, right? So gonna talk to her again. Hopefully, nobody else will have to talk to her, but should be pretty quick. Obviously, yeah. Hey, how you doing? I'm Detective Payne. You just call me Jeff. I stopped by school today, talked to a few other friends. Unfortunately, you weren't there. So, do you mind talking to me for a few minutes? Okay. I typically talk to people in my vehicle. I'm parked in that black Chevy. If you want to talk there, obviously we're not going anywhere. It's up to you.
I'm not going to let her get in the car by herself.
Okay. All right. You mind if we talk out here then?
Yeah.
All right. That works.
Yeah.
Dad, do you mind going this way? Some privacy?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, like I said, I'm Detective Payne. You can just call me Jeff. Obviously, you're not in trouble, okay? Sorry that you have to talk to somebody else. I know you talked to Brittany the other day, right? Yeah, she's a partner of mine. So there's just a few other follow-up questions that we have to go into. I have your date of birth as... so you're 12, 13. Just turned 13. Okay. So do you know the differences between a truth and a lie? What's the difference?
One's telling the truth, like you're saying something that's like fact and real, and then the other one's like you're making up stuff.
Okay. So if I told you your shirt was black, would that be a truth, a lie, or something else?
True.
And why is that?
Because it is black.
Okay. So can you promise to tell me the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know, like I said, I know you talked to Detective Bradshaw a little bit about everything that's going on. But if you can just kind of give me a summary. How about you call? You know.
I've known since 4th grade.
Known her since 4th grade. Okay. Do you think you guys were close? You guys best friends? How do you?
She's my best friend.
Best friend. Okay. Would she say the same thing to you about you? That you guys are best friends? Okay. Okay. Do you think you guys confide everything in each other? You guys share your secrets? Like, there's levels of best friends, right?
We share everything.
Share everything. Yep. Okay. Okay. So, did she ever tell you about anything that was going on at home?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. Like, they'd have arguments, but it was just like arguments. Like, I'll go clean your room, and she'd be like, no, I don't want to.
Okay. Anything else?
She'd come to PE, and she'd be like, I had a fight, like, she'd come and complain.
Okay. She ever complained about anything else? Nothing else. Okay. Have you noticed any big changes in her behavior lately?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about those. Okay. Sorry. Polar.
Yeah. She kind of acts bipolar a little bit.
Okay.
She'll have mood swings.
You talk about...
She takes medicine.
Okay.
She follows me medicine. She has ADHD.
Okay.
Last time I saw her was Sunday. I was at her birthday party, and when I first got there, she was a little upset.
Okay.
And then she was also kind of upset that, like, she didn't get enough presents. She didn't get, like, most of her family wasn't there.
Yeah.
And she didn't get enough presents, or money or anything.
Okay.
I guess because she hyped up her birthday party so much, and then when barely people came.
Okay. Okay. So, talk to me about a big change in her behavior. So, like a long-term change, right? So she's happy for a few weeks, and she's sad for a few weeks. Like, when has that big change happened? So you tell me that she was upset at her birthday party, but it sounds like she had a reason to be, right?
Yeah.
So was there a big change in her behavior at school that you noticed at school?
Sort of.
Okay. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah. Valentine's Day was the last time she stopped. She started the last time she took her meds.
Okay.
When she's on her meds, she's like nice, she's fun, she's caring. She's not snappy at all.
Why did she stop taking them?
I'm guessing because she felt more free.
Okay. Did she tell you that, or?
No.
Okay. She didn't tell you why she stopped taking them?
No.
Okay.
She would say that she forgot them. That she forgot to take them.
Okay. Do you know exactly what she was on?
No.
Or not? You know, it's
Other than her ADHD.
just ADHD. Okay.
And then when she's off her meds, which she has been lately, she's very snappy.
Okay.
She gets mad at stuff that I would do or that anyone else would do.
Okay.
When she was off her meds. So.
Did she ever talk to you about being depressed or wanting to hurt herself or anybody else?
I knew she went through a phase where she was very depressed.
Okay.
And she had a hard time getting out of it.
When was that?
She never told me when it was. She just
Okay. She just told you I was depressed, or
yeah.
Okay. You don't recall being around her during that depression? Okay. How about suicide? She ever mentioned suicide, wanting to hurt herself or anybody else?
No.
Okay. I know she,
Oh, her crush. She's had a crush on him since like the beginning of the school year.
Okay. Did anything ever come of it?
She asked him for his number and he said yeah.
Okay.
She would always text him.
You said text him or sext him?
Text.
Text him, okay.
She would always text him and call him sometimes. He really isn't alone.
Okay.
He would never text her back.
Okay. Has she had any other boyfriends? No? Has she shown interest in any other guys?
She had a boyfriend before.
Okay.
She had two. She recently got out of a relationship not too long ago.
Okay.
He didn't go to our school. He got expelled from our school. He broke a kid's elbow.
What's his name? Know what his last name is?
No.
Do you know where he goes now?
No. Mm-hmm.
White kid, black kid? Have you ever met him?
I met him once.
Okay. Is he your age? Younger? Older?
Same age.
Same age? Okay, so he'd be in 7th grade?
He's either 12 or 13.
Okay. You said he got expelled for breaking a kid's elbow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She had another boyfriend.
Is he?
Yes.
Did any of these boyfriends ever amount to anything? Were they just hand-holding and just nothing more than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a long distance, and then with David, it was all through text.
Okay. So did she ever talk to you about anybody else? Okay. So she never talked to you about anything else that was going on at home? Yeah, you mentioned that. I've gotten that from a few other people.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to recall, but I don't think she mentioned anything else at home or anything other than her mom fighting. Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys follow each other on social media?
I'm not allowed to have them.
Okay.
The only thing I have is her YouTube shorts and
Is hers or yours?
hers.
Hers. Can I see those? You follow her on YouTube, is that what you said?
Yes.
YouTube Shorts? often did you go?
Every single weekend.
Every single weekend? Okay. Did you have anybody else that lived there? If you want to still work on those videos. Oh, thanks.
I met Stephan once or twice. I met him once, and I shook his hand, and then he said hello to me.
Stephan is... You said you only met him once?
I only met him once.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just going to kind of look through these real quick. Is that okay?
She said she was going to show her face at 200 subs.
She was going to what? I'm sorry?
Show her face at 200 subs.
At 200 subs, okay. Did she ever make any other content?
I don't know. She has Discord, which is a streaming thing where you can go live. I don't know if she's ever gone live though.
Do you have her Discord?
I think so. I don't know if she's down.
Okay. Do you mind re-downloading it for me?
Can I run inside and grab a charger?
Yeah, of course. I saw it was low, but if you don't mind plugging it in so we can try to get Discord downloaded. Okay.
Every single morning she would wake up and she'd be like, hey, good morning, and then she would send me like a bunch of like Instagram reels or like YouTube shorts.
Okay.
Monday morning she did not.
Okay.
Even if she were like sick or something or she were to oversleep, she would still text me in the morning.
Okay. So that was always.
That was always.
Okay.
She would always text me in the morning and stuff. Monday morning I thought it was suspicious that she didn't, but when she oversleeps that's the only time she doesn't.
Okay.
But she'll still text me like when
she gets up.
She'll wake up.
Okay.
And then when I got off the bus and like I turned on my phone and she didn't text me, I was like, okay, something's up.
Okay. Did you reach out to her at that point? Or?
I called her.
You called her? Okay. Did she answer? Or? Okay. You said that you met once?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? I'm sorry.
Stephan. That's what they call him.
Okay.
Stephan Sterns.
Do you have any pictures with Stephan? Anything like that? You guys going out and doing things? Just casual pictures? Anything?
I had two pictures of him that
Okay.
I had tried to find last night.
Okay.
When I heard he was arrested.
Uh-huh.
I went through all of our text messages, all of our photos, videos, and every like group chat or anything, but it was like completely like erased.
Couldn't find them?
I couldn't find them.
Okay.
My phone's ringing, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so he had sent me like two pictures of him.
Mm-hmm. What was he doing in those?
Just looks like she took a screenshot from like FaceTime that he didn't know.
Okay. Did she ever send anything else of him? Anything else? Okay. Did you ever see anything else of hers? Did she ever see any pornography, anything like that? No? Okay. Did she ever send you any pictures of herself that are pornographic, or of anybody else? No? Okay.
She would send a picture, but it wouldn't go past like right here.
Okay. Of herself or of somebody else?
Of herself.
Of herself. Okay.
This is her Discord.
Sorry, I'm just gonna look through this. He said, or she. I'm sorry. She says in this message that she can't be on because that is there. Do you recall her saying that? Okay. I guess, did she ever not hang out with you, whether online or in person, to see him?
He had visited her
True crime.
when he'd move out. He like spent a day with her once, and then we were supposed to hang out that day, and she canceled because he came, and she was like, "Sorry, I can't hang out for this time."
Okay. Your mom seems to think you need to show me some other message between you and somebody else. She just texted you when I was on there, so it popped up.
This is when it started to slow down.
Okay. Did you show this to Brittany the other day?
I did not show it to Brittany.
You did not? Okay.
I showed it to Debbie.
So, what do you think? Where do you think she went? What do you think happened?
I think she was away because she was scared that something was going to happen, or I think she was scared of.
True crime audio.
I think she wanted to get away from that, and he threatened her that way she didn't tell anybody. That way she didn't go tell me, or she know I would told someone, told my parents or something.
Okay. Was she a virgin?
Yes.
She was? Okay. So, did she ever ask you to keep any secrets for her? No? Okay. Did she ever tell you anything that she implied was a secret?
Other than her life story.
Nothing more than that. Okay. Did you guys ever have any explicit conversations about sex? Okay.
She would text me
I would reiterate that you're obviously not in trouble or anything. Anything you tell me is in confidence. This isn't going to go to the school or your parents or anything. Okay?
on the news, you guys had said that when she turned 13 she would go to the woods.
Yeah.
That's not what she said, though.
What'd she say?
She said if World War III to break out, then
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're aware of that.
And then if she were 13, she'd go and leave the house and never come back.
Is that what you're looking for?
No, she sent me something weird. But it's not with her.
What was it?
It was something dirty, it was like a picture.
What was it?
It was, she drew something on paper.
Okay.
It was weird. And you're the person who interviewed me had seen her.
Brittany.
Yes.
Okay, so Brittany has it, that's okay.
She would also on call, she'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like if me and him are together.
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of that, yes. She never confided anything in you personally, though? Okay. About anybody she might have been in a relationship with? Do you think she might have been in a physical relationship with?
No, she was always so obsessed with
Okay.
it wouldn't seem like she was.
Even before she had... Then it was... So, never anybody else? Did she ever come to school with bruises or anything?
That you know of.
Not that you know of?
Other than like makeup around her eye.
Okay. Did she come to school with makeup around her eye and you asked her and she said it was bruised or no?
She'd come with like red eyeshadow like under her eyes.
Okay.
It would look like she'd been crying. And she'd be like, I'm not just makeup.
Had she gotten her period?
Yes.
She had? Is that something that you two would discuss?
She told me she got hers because I took mine was like 2 days after.
Would she tell you every month that she got it? Okay.
It's pretty much just to give me a heads up that
You said you're typically 2 days after? Was there ever a time when it was irregular? When, it came early for her or it was late for her?
Yeah, last month was late.
I'm sorry, you said
Last month.
last month it was late?
Audio.
Do you remember what she said?
I got nothing. And she didn't say anything. She was like, oh, I haven't gotten mine yet, or anything. Like, I haven't had cramps or anything like that. They would show a sign of a period. And then, like, after like a week, I was done with mine. And then 2 weeks after, she got hers.
Okay, so she did end up getting it, it was just late. Okay. You said it was 2 weeks, though.
So around 2 weeks.
Did you have a conversation about that? About what could have caused that? Did she show any concern about being pregnant?
Plunder. True crime audio.
Did she say that she explicitly wasn't? I know you said that she was a virgin, but if she missed her period, did it come up again and she reiterate that she could not have been pregnant or no? You don't know? Okay. You don't know if it was talked about or you...
I don't think it was.
Okay. Is there anything else you think I need to know?
Other than this, like, it's weird how she called me and was like, hey, they were like, but then I was confused because she told my dad the same thing.
That what?
That she dropped her off, not.
Shut the off.
Yeah, and she didn't say anything about
True crime
not
audio.
even one mention. And then she seemed really calm like every single time I would talk to her on the phone or anything. She wouldn't be like freaking out or anything.
Is there anything else you think I need to know? Okay. Are you aware of what's going on? Have you seen the news and stuff about how Stephan, about how he was arrested and stuff? Okay, you're aware of what he was charged with? What was your reaction when you read that?
Shocked.
Shocked. Okay. Why exactly? Was it just because you never thought it could happen? Like, what was the cause?
Get, like,
Plunder,
weird signs.
true crime audio.
Not that he would, like, touch her weird or anything like that.
Okay, so what kind of weird signs did you get?
Most likely that crossed my mind, like that thought crossed through my mind.
Okay. When was that?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. So, before or after you saw the news? Before you saw the news.
Before I saw that he was.
Okay. The thought crossed your mind that he was doing something with her, or?
That he would probably do something.
Okay. Why exactly?
Because they were really close. Like, me and my dad are close, but not like we'll be on FaceTime.
Okay.
And stuff. Like, that was like close.
Did you ever ask her about it?
No.
About their relationship, or why they were so close, or make any jokes about them being close? No?
I'd asked her why, like, I was like, oh, it's so cool how you remember.
Yeah.
We were really close. And she was like, yeah, but like, being on like FaceTime is like a lot. And she was like, yeah, we're really close and stuff. Like, he's been there for me and stuff. So.
Okay. Are you aware of the sleeping situation in that household?
That
Okay. How about, she has her own room there, right?
like sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
They kind of split the loft and like made like a bedroom out of that. Got like 2 room dividers.
Okay.
And that was her room.
Did she ever talk about anybody sleeping in her room with her? Okay.
Other than her going when she was sick.
About when she would go in the room when she was sick?
Yes.
Okay. So she never talked about him getting into bed with her or anything like that?
No.
Would you ever sleep over at her house?
I had asked my parents if no.
Okay.
But they have no single anyways.
Okay.
But that's before that's after Stephan moved out.
Okay. Why did he move out?
I have no clue.
Do you know when he moved out? A couple months ago? You said you don't know why?
I asked her, but she couldn't answer the question.
Okay. Anything else you think I need to know? I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I'm sure Brittany told you the same thing, but nobody knew her better than you, right? So, it's unfortunate that it seems like not even you knew everything that was going on in her life, right? So, and we're just trying to figure out what all happened. And if this was, she asked you to keep a secret or something, obviously you're not in trouble, she is certainly not in trouble. We just need to know about when people became aware about what happened. If this is something that, it's happened before, that's why I ask. Is, you think you're keeping a secret for somebody, and you are, you're just doing what they ask, right? But when people go missing, we just need to understand when this became aware, right?
Thinking about, her, running away or anything.
Yeah. So, what was going on at home is something that obviously nobody your age should have to deal with, and it was something that she was having to deal with. Mm-hmm. And I find it hard to believe that she didn't confide in anybody, not even her best friend.
I think, I don't know if this is like true or not, I don't even like really know. I think Stephan put a threatened her to not say anything to anyone, because though she would have told me.
Yeah.
That or she was scared of asking this to my parents.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe. But in my experience, it tends to come out anyway.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Everything you've always been true and correct? I certainly appreciate you taking time again, so we can go back to it. Oh, okay.
So you guys got this all going?
No, I'd rather just talk to her. Do you mind waiting out there? That'll be quick.
Look at me, sweetie.
Hi.
I'll be right outside, okay? Well, I can with her.
No, I prefer to talk to her one-on-one, okay? It'll be quick. We're not going anywhere, I promise.
Alright. Cool. I'm gonna have a good sweetie. Come this way.
My name's Detective Payne. You can call me Jeff, okay? I know you didn't want to talk. But I do need to talk to you for a few minutes. Alright? And your last name is...
Could be suspicious.
Okay.
She did seem hesitant, and like she didn't look like she was crying or anything like that.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
Okay, so let me just read this back to you and make sure I have everything right, okay? Your last name... You know what the difference is between a truth and a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You first met last year in grade 6, where you guys shared one class together.
Mm-hmm.
This year you have 3 classes together. Her best friend is... They knew her best. You met the person when she was a sub.
Yeah.
Okay, you were not able to get a number.
No.
You didn't really follow each other on social media. You're more in person. You remember school crying, sometimes complaining about...
Yeah.
You think that happened about once a month? If something I'm saying is incorrect, please tell me and I'd be happy to correct it, okay? You think that happened about once a month?
Probably. I can't really remember, but like sometimes it would just happen.
Okay.
But
Occasionally she would start crying. Yeah. Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't know, personally, I feel like she couldn't have run away by herself.
Okay.
I feel like she could have run away with someone. Because if I'm personally, I believe that you have to like climb over the fence.
Yeah.
And she's like short.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Sometimes to you when you asked her why, she said it's how she showed her love and affection. She did not talk about suicide or depression at all. She sometimes said that she also felt sad. Her out before. Okay. She talked about her crushes before. And you guys never talked about sex. Okay. And you never noticed any real changes in her behavior. Is that right? Okay. Anything else you think I need to know?
If you can, you could probably these people that I would suggest also talking to.
Yeah.
I have in my second period.
Last thing.
Last thing, but I do know that I have in my second period. My second period is gym, and my coach is Coach Francis or Coach Francis.
Okay. Then I'll certainly try to talk.
And you could also go talk to. You could no. I was gonna say my friend, because we were like talking about it and we were kind of like suspicious. When we found out what happened on the news, we kind of like knew.
Okay.
So like yeah, but
okay.
I can't really remember. I don't like know anyone else that you could be able to talk to besides those 2 people since she's close to them the most.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Can you promise that everything you told me is true and correct?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Detective Payne. Let's talk over here. This will be quick, okay? Your last name is... Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm Detective King, but you just call me Jeff, okay? Let's get this very well. No class is bell ending. Alright. And what's your last name? Phone number?
Yeah. Oh, my phone?
Yes.
It's...
You are 12 years old.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Do you know what the difference is between a truth and a lie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, a truth, it's like... I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, like, it's when you're not lying.
Okay. Yeah, if I told you the board behind you was white, would that be a truth, a lie, or something else?
That would be a truth.
And why is that?
Because it is white.
Okay. So can you promise to only tell me the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you...
Well, we recently just started to become, like, closer.
Okay.
So I wouldn't consider I would consider myself a friend. We just started getting closer. So
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, what do you call her?
I usually call her like recent, as I said, like I just started calling her. I thought we were like...
Okay. So you guys just recently became friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many classes do you guys share together?
We share 2.
Okay.
Gym, 2nd period, and this class.
What is this class?
7th period, language arts with Mr. O.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys ever talk about anything that is going on in her life?
Well, for me, she didn't say that, but with her closer friends, like, talk about that. They told me that, like, she did say that, like, she didn't really, which is, yeah.
Did she say anything else?
I do think that you guys already know this, but she said she wanted to run away a few weeks ago.
Did she tell you this?
She didn't tell me this. She told me of running away. The woods part.
Okay. So did she ever have any conversations with you about wanting to run away or about not liking any conversations personally? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she
She didn't have this conversation personally. Okay. Did she seem depressed or interested in suicide or anything recently?
She did seem pretty sad sometimes.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Because, sometimes she could be really quiet and sad. Well, it looked like she was sad.
Okay.
And then, most of the time she looked pretty happy because I think maybe stuff I think from what I've heard, maybe life at home wasn't the best, but while she was at school, I think she was happy.
Okay. Have you noticed any big changes in her behavior?
Well, no.
Okay. Sorry. So she never mentioned any abuse or anything to you?
Not to me.
Okay.
I do think that if she were ever to mention that, she would, because she's really close. They're best friends.
Okay. Is there anything else you think I need to know?
Well, I feel if I say anything, it's gonna be what.
Thing that somebody else might have told you.
Well, I could tell the whole story again.
Okay, what is the whole story?
Well, me that a few weeks ago, I texted her about saying that when you're 18, I'm gonna give you to your dad, and then she said, that she's gonna run away at like when she turns 13.
Okay.
And Anna said that she took that as a joke because she didn't really think she would do that.
Okay.
And told me that maybe like 2 weeks before she disappeared, she said, "Oh, if I ever were to run away, I would go to the woods and build a house."
Okay.
And yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Okay. Well, Miss Emily, I certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, okay?
I feel like they would be able to like give you more information than me.
Okay. Okay. But still, I appreciate it, okay? Almost everything you told me has been true and correct?
Tuesday, February 27, 13:11 hours, detective hunt for OCSO case 24-011313. Can you state your full name? And what's your relationship? And so, do you recall the last time you spoke?
That was Sunday. I celebrate her. Yes.
And is that the last time you saw her
That's
too?
the last time I saw her.
Got it. And so, I won't keep you too long, but it's my understanding that it's not uncommon from school to here sometimes.
She did it like a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that normally like when she's waiting for pick her up or?
Yeah. Sometimes the office and pick her up.
Mhm.
She walks from school to here.
Okay.
She did it like maybe, I don't know, 5-6 times.
Okay. So just a few times she's done
Just a
that.
few times.
So that's why Jennifer would have come here yesterday to see if she had maybe
Yes, maybe she
maybe come
walked
here.
here. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what Jennifer told you yesterday?
No, she's like waiting here at school, but she doesn't come out. She's not. I don't think she's here. Maybe she walked to school to the office, and I was like, okay, I'll wait here.
Mhm.
It was 4:30, 4:35, 4:40, and she never showed up.
Okay.
So, and we went together to school, but the office were closed.
Mhm.
It was only the after program they were open.
Mhm.
So we went to verify to the school
Mhm.
and the program. She didn't. While we went to the school, Jennifer called 2 friends that she has,
Mhm.
and they told that she never made it to school.
Got it.
That's when we find out everything. That She
Okay.
wasn't in school.
Did she tell you who took her to school yesterday?
I know that Stephan, yes.
Okay.
Came here to, I don't even know, I guess for,
Gotcha. Okay. So does he live there with them still or?
no,
No. Gotcha. He just came. Does he?
I guess he just came to visit.
Got it.
Yeah.
When did?
I'm not sure, but I know he moved back in December to Punta Gorda.
Mhm.
He moved out of the house.
Okay. And it, as far as you know, it's because they.
As far as I know, I don't know.
Got it. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. But he came back this weekend, maybe
came
for
back
her.
just- I
For
guess-
it. I guess is it common of Stephan?
I guess sometimes he did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got it. And did he say where he dropped her off at all?
He said he dropped her off in the corner of Urbana. There is a building there. It's called Urbana.
Bana?
Urbana.
Urbana.
Urbana. It's town loop, and I don't even know the name of the street.
Okay. By
I
Urbana.
was right in the corner.
Got it. So he dropped her off there, and then did he say what happened after?
He said that he just walked, like going to school,
Mhm.
and then she stopped for a few seconds. I guess she was looking for her phone.
Yeah.
And then he just kept going.
Okay. Run away before, or ever wanted to go somewhere else or hang out with her friends without permission or anything?
Not that I know.
Okay. Is there anywhere you know of that she likes to hang out or go to clear her head if she's ever upset, or a place that she likes to go?
One day she was upset. I guess she had a fight. And she called me crying.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm walking around the neighborhood. I was like, why are you doing that? She's like, I don't want to be in my house right now because I am mad at me. like, you know what? Go back to the house. Don't walk alone in the street. And she said, okay. So she went back. That's the only thing I knew it happens. That was, I think, like a year ago. That happened like a year ago.
Okay.
And then after that, I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Do you have any concerns with... I just ask this because I have to. Do you have any concerns about either Jennifer or Stephan with ever raised alarm with you that you can remember?
I never liked him. Don't ask me why, because I don't even know myself. It's because I guess he doesn't work, he doesn't do anything. I mean, he just there because he suffers from a lot of things.
Okay.
And I mean, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't work, he doesn't help you. It's something that, it's not my life, but I just ask her, That was her answer.
Got it. So typically, does she do or anything from the phone?
No.
Not much?
Not much.
Do you remember the last time you spoke with her before Sunday?
Well, I spoke to her Friday, because she slept over at my house.
Okay.
And then Saturday, I came here to work. And after here, I was going to a party.
Gotcha.
And I told my husband to going to take her. And she started crying. She said no, she doesn't want to go. So she didn't go at all. So my ex-husband went to pick her up.
Okay.
And, they spent the day together.
Do you ever pick her up from school, or does your ex-husband ever pick her up from school?
Yeah. I don't know about my ex-husband, but when I have to, I'll go and pick her up. If not, Leticia.
And when you pick her up, where do you pick her up
Just
from?
from the school.
From the school.
Yeah,
Have you ever picked her up from anywhere else far from the school?
Church.
Church.
Like from the church.
Is that somewhere that she hangs out, or other kids hang out, or?
No. There's a lot of kids there at that time.
Oh, they kind of go there?
Yeah, a lot of kids go there. Their parents will pick them up from the church.
Got it. Okay, got it. Okay, what's a good phone number for you? Have your ID so I can get your name down?
I have it in my
Oh, that's fine. How do you spell your name?
YOLANDA.
And your last name?
Zambrano. Z as in zebra. AMBRANO.
And what's your birthday?
9/29/67.
And you do have a Florida ID. I can look up with that. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay. Well, is there anything else important that you think I should know?
Yeah. My brother-in-law, he woke up this morning. He went to look at the trail, and he was walking, and he passed by 417 under, and he found the wallet. I have it.
When you say the trail, what trail?
It's like in the back of the school. There is a trail.
Oh, there's a trail behind the school.
Behind the school. Yeah.
Okay, and you found a wallet. Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And if you want to come in and take a look what he found, and he just gave it to me, and I found 20.